on his page.
Gotcha.
That one's up. All right, bet.
See you later.
That one's up. That one's probably up. Hold on 1 second.
Kasha Paula? Yeah.
It is? Okay. All right, bet. You want to open on?
You got it.
Okay, good. All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, first and foremost, I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the room and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 First Fruit. I'm the brother Kasha Quali from GMS Atlanta Camp.
The Mayim.
Kind of, we're coming to you, as you can see on the title of the lesson is current events. And these past week and a half, 2 weeks, it's been like back to back every single day, something happening.
Yeah.
So I guess this lesson is going to be more so of like a refresher in things that are actually happening right now, of course, because current events. So we're actually going to start off with a particular scripture that this brother, the Spirit's been having this brother read. So you can read that.
It's the book of Habakkuk 1 and verse 5. And it says, Behold ye among the heathen, and regard and wonder marvelously. For I will work a work in your days, which you will not believe, though it be told you. And a lot of the things that have been happening recently, these events or disasters really that have been happening, they seem like a work of fiction. And we're just in the beginning of it. But just to recap, people are saying that these storms that have been happening from Helene, and then the previous ones, like what happened in Hawaii, what's happened in California, what's happened in different places, a lot of people are saying that these are geo-engineered storms, that these are manipulations of what's going on, of natural disasters, and there's a lot of evidence to prove it right.
Mm-hmm.
And this seems like science fiction, really.
Right.
Like you've got this devil that he's manipulating the weather. He's trying to corrupt the creation with putting something into the creation that does not belong there. He's doing, just various violence and just...
Exactly. Well, let's come back to this script, and actually, since we're talking about Esau, Esau, the main culprit of a lot of things that affect our daily lives, get that in Genesis where it says he's a cunning hunter. All right?
Ooh, yeah.
And then we're going to get that word cunning, because that word cunning goes into the word craft. When someone's crafty, usually, for me at least, when I think of like crafty, I think of sneaky or conniving, kind of devilish, and I always think of the animal like a fox.
Yeah.
And foxes are very sneaky and conniving in the way they manipulate the nature around them to make it benefit for them. Sounds like an Edomite. You know? And that's, what is it called? The harp? Or...
Yeah, harp.
Yep.
There's
which is a manipulating machine, which also is a weapon, which also a weapon goes into hunting. So it doesn't, with this truth that opens up your mind and imagination to where a weapon, you're not just only thinking of hunting or war. It could be bio, it could be chemical, it could be, actually physical with, knives and guns and talking about war. It's a whole bunch of different type of fronts that Esau uses his blessing with, because he's cunning,
Psychological warfare.
Bro.
He uses his words very well. They're smoother than butter.
Smoother than butter. Sociology warfare, because that which is a study of society. There, you see how matter of fact, me and my rib just got done watching the other day, The First Purge. And in that movie, I think it came out like 2018, and it was happening like Staten Island area. And in that, the first purge was conducted off of a psychological experiment to see how society reacts. That's a weapon, that's a weapon. You know, you can go ahead and
Yeah.
get that if you, or you have something to say too.
Mad scientists.
Mad,
These are mad scientists.
mad
that are-
scientists. You know,
And you
Yeah.
look at their the ones that they rise to the top, like Elon Musk
Right,
and
right.
Bill Gates. They're scientists, and they're using their and this is just middle management. I'm not saying these are the guys that are actually pulling these ideas out. Yeah, pulling the strings, but they boost up these scientists.
Right.
And it's all going into, and even the Facebook guy too, because that goes into
Zuckerberg? Yeah.
Zuckerberg.
Yep.
It goes into social manipulation and
Right.
like psychological warfare,
Yep.
and that's what they are waging against us, and that goes into him being a cunning hunter.
Right.
Genesis 25:27, and the boys grew. This is Jacob and Esau, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field.
Yep.
And Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents.
Well, so you see that, right? Shoot, I did a lesson on that, speaking on the side of Jacob and how we ought to be being unflappable. But now we're speaking on the side in that particular script about Esau being a cunning hunter, and he's a man of the field. That's where the people dwell, okay? So it's free game in his eyes, and so he used the blessing that the Lord gave him in a manipulative manner, a violent manner, and it comes in all different forms and fashions. It's not just one thing. It's not, oh, we're just gonna bomb them. That's, you know what I'm saying? These hurricanes, and just like we're about to bring out the article with the 19 tornadoes hitting Florida. Florida's not known for tornadoes to hit.
Yeah.
That's why they call something called the, what is that? Not Death Valley, but Tornado Valley, or Tornado Alley, which goes from like middle of Texas, North Texas, to all of Oklahoma, Kansas area. Those areas are known for massive, continual strikes with tornadoes. Not in Florida, not in Georgia. You know, it happens in Alabama here and there, but 19 tornadoes.
Yeah.
In a span of how long? A day? Probably.
A day.
A day.
They said 10 were at one time.
10 were at one time. So that hurt. This is you remember that movie Day After Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Some Day After Tomorrow shit. That's what's going on. Some Day After Tomorrow shit, and it's cunning hunting from Esau. You have something, bro?
Yeah. And I have the word cunning in Genesis 25 and 27, and it's yada, which is to know,
Knowledge. Yep.
to perceive, to discern, distinguish.
Yep. Khan, hey, Shalom, Captain Kasab. Yabashuna Shabrakashah.
Yabashuna.
He mentioned the movie 2012.
Oh yeah.
Remember that movie?
I do remember that movie.
When all those natural disasters and big ass earthquakes and tsunamis that flooded the whole world
all at once.
And
remember they all got in their bunkers, just like what they're gonna do in this world.
Right. See?
Yeah.
That's nature, man.
It's owls and coyotes talking.
What you got it, bro?
Or that was that on.
Oh yeah.
On to know.
That was on cunning, right?
Yeah, cunning.
So it means to know, which is knowledge. Esau's knowledgeable on how to do these things. So let's get into some more current events. You can go back to that Habakkuk 2 if you would like, because that's just going to be always present precept in this particular lesson. But okay, so we got Hurricane Helene that people are still feeling the effects of. North Carolina is trashed. Augusta is still without power in Georgia. I haven't heard of it getting power back up.
Yeah, I hadn't either.
So what's that? 2 weeks? 3 weeks now?
I actually saw. So my rib's has a coworker that's over in Augusta, but she's come into Atlanta recently because of what's happened over there with the hurricane. And they were telling her 5 weeks before the electricity is back up, which is crazy.
Right.
Like, normally it's not 5 weeks. It ain't 5
Shit
weeks.
ain't even a week.
Yeah.
Maybe a day.
If you have 3 days, you had a bad time.
Yeah, exactly. These people are going out. And it's not going to be covered in mainstream media, or it's just going to be covered lightly. It reminds me of that movie Don't Look Up, and was that Jennifer, whatever her name is, and Leonardo DiCaprio. Whenever they went on to the news channels, the news people will take it lightly. Oh, yeah, it's okay, whatever. And they were on national television on that movie. The fucking world is gonna end.
No.
I guarantee there's a whole bunch of people that are dead and gone in Augusta right now because that power's out.
Yeah.
Whole bunch of people. They talked about in the Carolinas that got hit by Helene, when the floods receded, the water receded, there was a whole bunch of dead bodies laying there, and I believe it because just in my particular line of work, I'm not going to get too much detail, but my job is affected by it, and no one is answering the calls. There's a whole bunch of people missing. Shipments can be made over there and things of that nature. It's real. The stuff is happening. So you had Helene hit. Now you got Milton currently, because of course current events. You got Milton currently hitting Tampa right now. And prayers out to the Akim out there, just in the whole state of Florida. And of course we talked about the tornadoes that Milton is bringing on along with it. And then we got these port strikes. We got these port strikes, which people don't understand. That could heavily trigger a famine. And I'm talking about an actual food famine, food and water famine. It would behoove you to go stock up on a few things here and there right now.
While you can.
Not on some carnal shit, not doomsday, but don't be stupid. When the scriptures say, my servant shall eat, my servant shall drink, yes, the Lord's going to take care of us, but you got to understand what it says in James, the 2nd chapter. Faith without works is dead. Get your ass up, put in the work, go stock up on some stuff, and then have your faith to back that. Don't believe in the food and water that you get, but best believe it will help,
Yeah. A wise man seeth the evil and hideth himself.
Yep.
You should be able to see this and tell that, oh yeah, I should get some extra supplies while I can.
That's right.
And you're not relying on it, but it's just wise. It's a very wise choice to do that. Yep. Also, the Wyoming's burning down currently.
Yep.
As well.
See all these fronts happening in America, and you remember that big old X that went across it.
Oh yeah.
Because it got X'd out with the solar lunar eclipse or whatnot. Mm-hmm. The big old X went right across it,
which everyone saw.
Everyone saw.
This is Psalm 66 and 5. It says, "Come and see the works of the Most High.
Ooh.
He is terrible in his doing toward the children of men."
See, hey, it don't get no better or no straightforward than that. You might as well get stay in Psalm and get Psalm 9 and 20. Start at verse 19. All right, because terrible are the works of the Lord. You should be called what? Alashajah. Terrible demon-like power, man. And that's what we're seeing right now. I don't care if people are blaming these back-to-back hurricanes on geological or warfare that Esau's using. Well, I don't care. It could be heart making these things. But let's take it back to Isaiah, the 54th chapter. Give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. He's the one who put in the minds of these cunning hunters to make these instruments, to make this weather. All credit goes to the Lord at the end of the day, because he created them damn Edomites. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, this is still the Lord's judgment. I got Exodus, Salakia. GMS bear witness of the light. 44, Shalom, bro. It says, Exodus 9 and 14, for I will Oops, Salaki. Tripping. All right, Exodus. Matter of fact, grab that Babaka shot, bro. I keep messing with this thing and it keep falling, man.
It said Exodus 19.
Exodus 9 and 14.
Exodus 9 and 14. It says, "For I will at this time send all my plagues upon thine heart, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, that thou mayest know that there is none like me in all the earth."
You see that? Hey, you can break it down, bro.
Yeah, and the Lord, He's sending these plagues. He told us He's going to do it. And we're sitting here waiting and ready. We kind of don't. It's going to be hard to go through, but we're waiting for this to come down. And He's doing all this to boost up His holy name, to boost up His righteous name, to let His name be known throughout this whole earth, because these people don't know it.
Right.
They have no clue who the Lord is, what His name is, what He's all about. And He's going to bring this place down.
That's it. That's it. Hey, the water for that precept, bro.
Huh.
You know, that was a powerful precept. Because that's right, man. These people don't know what's coming. They don't even know. We having a lesson on current events. They don't even know what's currently happening. You know, testimony. Again, at my job, there was a guy that didn't even know Helene was coming. We send out an email that we're going to be shut down for a span of time. Once Helene passes, we'll reopen. He didn't know Helene was coming until we sent out the mass email. These people are clueless. You know, that's why the scripture says peace and safety, and sudden destruction will come upon a whirlwind. Come upon them as a whirlwind. You know, I'm just loosely paraphrasing. You know, so these things are gonna happen. You got Psalm 9.
Yeah, come on.
Yep. Let's get Psalm 9 real quick, and then we'll get in some articles with some current events. Shit, you got a class. We're speaking in the spirit. We got a class. There's a class action lawsuit on Starbucks on their refreshers. There's a lawsuit on Coffee Mate, if I'm not mistaken. We kind of looked into it. It was a bad article. I don't want to bring that one up, but there's a lawsuit on Coffee Mate because a class action lawsuit on Coffee Mate, which is the creamer, and it shows that they have baby fetus inside of their creamers. So stay away from that shit, you know. Me personally, I try to make my own creamer when I get the chance. It's a few simple ingredients, some half and half, condensed milk if you want it. Some you get your sweeteners, some vanilla extract. If you want to put some maple syrup in it.
A little bit of honey.
You can put honey in it, whatever sweetener, agave. You know, mix that shit up and you got your own creamer, man. You know, you stay away from these off the shelf creamers, man. Or if you do find a creamer off the shelf, just make sure it's 100% just cream. You know, with nothing else, no yellow 5 and shit in it like that. You know.
Yeah.
But these companies are having these this is currently happening. Go look it up. You know.
And it still goes back to Habakkuk.
Right.
He's working this work in our day that we might not believe.
Right.
This all sounds like science fiction.
Yep.
They're putting fetuses in creamer. That sounds crazy. All these things that you try to say, like this geoengineering, the cloud seeding, the what do you call those in the sky?
Oh, chemtrails.
Chemtrails.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds crazy. But there's even crazier things like fetuses in our food.
Mm-hmm.
In our food supply, that our food is completely defiled.
Right.
Science fiction, but we believe it.
Shit. Well, the dude who did Super Size Me or whatever that document,
yeah,
didn't he just passed away?
He did.
You know, he tried to show y'all dumbasses physically what that food does to y'all. Still don't want to get it. You know? Still don't want to get it. You got it, bro.
9:19?
Yeah, you can start there.
Psalms 9, verse 19. Arise, O Lord,
Mm-hmm.
let not man prevail.
So you can link this up with a good precept the elder here in Atlanta likes it, Elder Arataza. He likes to use the precept. I'm paraphrasing it, so I might butcher it, but I think it's still in Psalms. Arise, O Lord, it's time for thee to work. You know, it's time for thee to work. So right now we're watching the Lord work right now. You know, go ahead, bro. Reread that.
Yeah. Arise, O Lord, Yahweh, let not man prevail.
Yep.
Let the heathen be judged in thy sight.
Yep. Hey, man, that's the spirit too, man. Because like we said, you know, that Hurricane Milton. You have the breakdown of Milton, the name Milton? Or was it a different breakdown?
That was for Florida. I was looking at Florida.
Okay.
But
just look up what the name Milton means, but it's a spirit because before that hurricane made landfall, I just told the brother Osh down in Tampa, I was like, hey, bro, you know, he know better than I do. I'm speaking to the choir, but I told that brother, may the Lord destroy the wicked and keep the righteous. And that's exactly what's going to happen, man. That's exactly what's going to happen.
I did look up Milton the other day, though. And it's someone from a mill town, which we're the Great Millstone, bringing this place down. But what I thought was more interesting, what came up, was John Milton. And he's the author of Paradise Lost. And we're looking for these heathens to lose their paradise so that ours can be set up after that.
Right. That's it. You can finish that precept off.
Yeah. Psalm 9:19. Arise, O Lord, let not man prevail. Let the heathen be judged in thy sight. Put them in fear, O Lord, that the nations may know themselves to be but men. Selah.
That's right. Ponder on that. You know, to let the nations know that they're just men. At the end of the day, we're all the Lord's creation. You know, he's just going to choose a particular creation to be above all the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? To be above all the rest of them. Get Proverbs 1:33, Babakasha, bro. You know, so after we get this, we can get into the port strikes that have gone on from all the way from New Jersey down to Texas. Every one of those ports, they ain't working. But let's get this Proverbs 1:33.
Proverbs 1:33 says, "But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil."
See, that's that tower. You know, what's that Proverbs 18:10, I want to say. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. Reread that. Proverbs 1:33.
But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely.
See, the elders have been pushing that lately. You know, you got to listen up. You got to understand what the Spirit is saying at the moment. You know, and Brother Yashimai, we'll get his precept here in a second. But
Yo,
go ahead, bro.
And shall be quiet from fear of evil.
Yep, and shall be quiet from the fear of evil, man. You see? So if you're hearkening to this truth and you're really taking it into heart, you know, really understanding it, digesting it, and not regurgitating it, all right? And really letting it set in, let it marinate in your spirit, the Lord's going to keep you, man. The Lord's going to keep you. It'll behoove you to fall in line, listen to the elders. Shit, listen to your peers, man. Shit, we all got the Spirit on us, you know? Listen to that's what the scriptures say that in Revelation. Listen what the Spirit has to say. You know, when you read about the 7 churches, listen what the Spirit has to say to the 7 churches, man. This is loosely paraphrasing there. The scriptures tell you to listen, man. Incline thine ear. All right? If you go up to the very top of that chapter, it tells you how to listen and understand a proverb. And the best way to understand a proverb or a dark saying, listen. Okay?
Gotta follow it up with this.
Yep.
Isaiah 33:6, because it goes into it. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. And yeah, we're talking about current events, and part of taking in and looking at current events, you're taking in knowledge, you're taking in wisdom, and it's through the filter of the scriptures, through the filter of the Lord's word. And this is what's going to keep us stable in these days, knowing that nothing but disaster is coming is actually going to help you in the long run. It's going to help you actually weather this storm, as they would say. And
That's
yeah.
That's it, bro.
What's that?
We'll hold that one real quick. We'll probably try to finish off on Yashimaz, but I really want to get into these port strikes that are going on. If you can pull up an article, and we're gonna get that Second Thessalonian and apply that wisdom to what's going on with that, because this is going on a week now that these guys haven't been at the ports and working. And week 1, you're gonna feel it. Week two, next thing you know, truckers aren't, gonna get the stuff. Truckers aren't gonna get their materials over to the construction workers. Construction workers are gonna start getting laid off because they don't have the materials to build. Car salesmen, they're gonna start getting laid off because the cars aren't coming in. These retail stores and things of that nature, they're not gonna get their products because everything is imported into America. It's a consumer-based corporation, because yes, look it up. Type in, is America a corporation? It'll blatantly sit there and tell you that the government calls America a corporation. You don't live in a fucking country. You live in a business. Okay? That's why there's really no days off here. This is really slavery. You live in a business. It's not a country. A country is something that's united, where everybody is one, or one of the same ethnicity. That's a country. Okay? This is a melting pot of bullshit. It tells you that in Ezekiel. It talks about the pot. Go ahead, bro.
And I want to say, they say it's ended. They say it went 3 days, but it's not done. It's a hiatus. It's until January, and then they're going to renegotiate these terms. But do you think these port workers are really working their hardest until it's over?
What's that thing that the president does? Like when there's a strike, I forgot what it's called, but he can order. If there's a strike, he can order them to go back to work for 90 days.
Yeah.
That's what's happening?
Exactly what's happening.
They can go back to work for 90 days, but you think they really fucking...
Yeah, they're not working.
They're not working.
They're eating apples.
Right.
Hanging out.
So, did Biden already...
I think it was the optics, because that hurricane just happened, and people started being like, "Whoa, you guys are really gonna go on strike right now?" While Helena just ravished part of the country and all this stuff. You're not gonna let them get goods, and I think some of that went into them actually turning it over. But because we were in a state of emergency. But it's just a hiatus. It's for a short while. It really is like 90 days till January something, and then it could be affecting us again, and it most likely will.
2025 is gonna be something else, man. But go ahead, bro.
Yeah, this is from CNN, and it says it only took 3 days for one side to blink and the potentially crippling strike at the United States East and Gulf Coast ports to come to an end, with likely only limited damage to America's economy. I'm going to skip down a paragraph. It says the work stoppage had threatened to disrupt supply chains, causing shortages of some consumer goods and supplies needed to keep U.S. factories running. It also temporarily cut off the flow of many American exports, putting overseas sales at risk of some U.S. businesses. But yeah, this is a big deal. This could cause the famine that we read about in the scriptures. This could cause more inflation, which we're already dealing with, and a lot of damage basically to this economy, which is already
Yep.
crumbling. It's already on its last leg,
Right.
on thin ice. But
Just like the scriptures say, that breach ready to fall. All right, it's so faltered. Is it get had a whole bunch? It's just like it's drooping right now, and it's ready to just bust wide open like a stripper on a stripper pole. Damn it. It's ready to bust wide open, man. You know, once it does, that's gonna be the climactic part, which is Jacob's trouble ultimately.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Was there more on that? Or was
um,
that the point?
that was the point.
So this
Basically.
is current. This is current. This is a temporary stop to the strike, but it's gonna restart immediately because what they're striking against is the automation,
Yeah.
and then the wages as well. Now, things that are not being fully put out there. Also, too, I've seen some things. TikTok shit. Okay, I can't stand these TikTok news reporters. But when you look into what they're saying, it is true. A lot of those port workers, they've been seeing some what we call trafficking in some sorts
Oh yeah.
happening in those ports, and it's been traumatizing them. Therefore, they don't want to do that anymore. They don't want to work. So I'm being very general with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not about to sit here and just, you know, shit, Esau cut the damn stream off. You know, but we seen it. I forgot there was a ship one time that imported hella drugs.
Yeah, it's J.P. Morgan
JP
ship.
Morgan ship. That was out there, so I can say that. You look it up, you know.
And then nothing. You don't hear.
They
Silence.
swept that under the rug. They probably scrubbed the internet from it, man. You know, but it was out there. Get 2 Thessalonians 3:10, and that's going on along the lines of this port strike. I know we mentioned the Wyoming fires, but hey, it's the Wyoming fires, man. You know. Go ahead, bro.
Second Thessalonians 3 verse 10. For even when we were with you, this we commanded you, that if any would not work, neither should he eat.
This is a direct message towards us, though. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying this is an application of what's going on, because these port strikers are not working, which can directly affect your eating. Okay? If the ports don't work, the truckers don't work, people don't get their materials, and that includes the grocery stores. So neither if you work, neither shall you eat. But really, in the spirit, you know, if you ain't doing this work right now, like the scriptures say, work your work B times, and in His time He shall reward thee. You ain't gonna eat when Jacob's trouble comes, man. You're gonna be out here through like the rest of these people. So you have to continue to work. Scriptures say, for there's plenty of work. The laborers are few.
Mhm. But the harvest
Harvest is plenty. There you go.
And even you look at these current events that are happening. There's so much that's going on.
Yes.
We can't even name it. Like we're having trouble thinking of everything that happened in the last 2 weeks,
Right.
which is pathetic. Like we should be able to, but so much has happened, which means that labor is abundant.
Right.
There is so much labor to be done. There's so many things that need to be warned about and screamed about, and we need more workers.
That's right.
We need more workers.
I know some bros had some precepts here. I'm not trying to knock this camera over again. I'll just read through them right now. Okay, we got Captain Kasabs. All right, Yashimai, Psalm 75:7. It says, "But the Most High is the judge. He putteth down one and set up another." That's right. You got Ecclesiastes 12:4. "And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low." Exactly. There's going to be no more work out here. It says, "And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low." That's a classic script. This is I think that's right now. So it says Ezekiel 24:6. It says, "Wherefore thus saith the Lord, power woe to the bloody city. Yep, you can link this up with Nahum. It says to the pot whose scum is therein. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking for at the water, bro. Because they call this place the melting pot. It says to the pot whose scum is therein, and whose scum is not gone out of it, bring it out piece by piece. Let not, let no lot fall upon it. GMS, son of Isaac 2. It's the brother Yaquab, Shalom, up and coming priest. It says, 2nd Ezra 16-21, it says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Hell yeah, you know. So I'm gonna stop it right there.
Yeah.
You know, did you have a closing precept?
Yeah. Just mentioned Nahum, which brought me back to this one.
Mm-hmm.
Nahum 1:3. It says, the Lord Yahweh is slow to anger and great in power. You can link this up to Exodus 20. And it says, and will not at all acquit the wicked.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord Yahweh hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet.
Yep.
And I want to go ahead and I want to get this in another translation because we got all these natural disasters going on right now. And this is in the YLT, which Slaki, I don't know what that stands for, but it says Yahweh is slow to anger and great in power, and Yahweh doth not entirely acquit. In a hurricane and in a tempest is his way, and a cloud is the dust of his feet. And that's what we're watching right now. We're watching hurricanes, we're watching fires. He always talks about bringing this fire, and we always think of the nukes, but there's wildfires. There are all these fires that are actually occurring. Like we're watching fire. We're watching the world burn.
Right.
And we're excited about it.
Exactly.
And yeah, Lord he's slow to anger. He let all this happen. He let us go through what we went through in slavery and everything, getting robbed and spoiled. He watched he watched them defile our food. He watched them defile the earth.
The temple.
Yeah, everything.
Right.
And now, and he's so slow to anger, he's just now going to affect the wicked. He's going after them now. Right. We saw these towns that went down in Hurricane Helene, and a lot of these were sundown towns.
Right.
And it's a lot of Edomite-controlled territory that was really affected. And we're watching him rise up. He's working his work, and it's beautiful.
That's right. That's right. Well, if that's it, you can close it out, bro.
Come on. So, Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Hakwadash.
Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and shalom to the elect of Israel.
Shalom.
Shalom.